I'm scheduled to speak to the Savannah River Valley Genealogical Society in Hartwell, Georgia, whose membership is made up of middle-aged and older men and women. The meeting will be held in the local library with approximately 50 people attending. The library has a good genealogical section and bound copies of the local weekly newspaper dating back to the early 1900s. My topic is the construction of the Hartwell Dam from 1956 to 1962 by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This new dam on the Savannah River would provide flood control and hydroelectric power for both Georgia and South Carolina. Major points to be discussed include background on the project, associated facts and figures, the relocation of graves, and two major problems encountered. Two articles from the New York Times found in the ProQuest Historical Newspapers database include a reference to this dam. The first, dated December 13, 1956, addressed one of the problems previously mentioned: college seeks to bar flooding, referred to a meeting to be held on December the 20th, 1956, between officials of Clemson College who opposed the building of the dam and the government. The lake waters formed by the dam would result in flooding of the campus, specifically the football stadium and the college's farmlands used for research. The second article, published July 23, 1961, Man-Made Lake to Change Carolina Lands, gave facts and figures for the dam's construction. For more detailed information on construction, I consulted the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Savannah District website. Its information was derived in part from a report included in A History of the Savannah District U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, 1829 to 1989, published in 1989, available for download in PDF format. The second problem previously mentioned concerned a standoff between Mrs. Eliza Brock and her daughters and a group of federal workmen. These men showed up without notice to cut timber on the Brock family's land for a new highway to be built prior to the dam's construction. Many local and regional newspapers, including the News and Advance of Lynchburg, Virginia, published an account, including a picture of one of the daughters with a rifle, posing in front of a sign announcing the new dam. Mrs. Brock did not receive official notification of the government's intent to seize her property. The Brock family had many relatives in Hart County at that time and still do. I'm one of them. I plan on giving a short genealogical sketch of this family. I will have handouts with websites for my sources, along with a display of plat maps for cemetery relocation provided by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and printouts with every name, if known, of the people whose graves were moved, a total of 2,095. A short PowerPoint presentation will include slides on the photograph of Mrs. Brock's daughter, dam construction pictures, and facts and figures. My discussion will last about 30 minutes with a question and answer session at the end. Members will then have an opportunity to do genealogical and newspaper research. My goals for this project include being successful in encouraging my audience to imagine the circumstances and the mindset of the people affected, those whose homesteads and or farmlands were inundated by the new lake formed by the dam, as well as those whose loved ones would have their final resting place disturbed. I also want to get them to imagine the enormity of the project, not just the preparation and completion of the dam, but also the logistics and details involved in the grave removals. And finally, I want to be able to aid them in making any genealogical connections there might be to those whose lives were affected. Hartwell and Hart County were and still are rural areas, and the building of this new dam was a major event that forever changed the landscape and the way of life for many of its people. Thank you.